Okay, so what are we doing here? I bought a pedal. It's got a motor in it. It's called the motor pedal. About 4 months ago, I pre-ordered it and completely forgot about it, and it arrived this week. And I've gotten enough crazy sounds out of this thing and enough crazy reactions from people I've shown it to kind of warrant a video, I think. Now, I've never done a gear video before. I'm not like a demo guy. I'm not like a gear YouTuber type dude. So this isn't gonna be like a super exhaustive demo of like everything this pedal does or doesn't do, but you know, I'll try my best. Also, this is probably the point where I'm supposed to say that this is not sponsored. I bought this with my own money and I am reviewing it or showing it off or whatever this is just because I thought it would be fun to do. So Gamechanger describes this as the world's first electromechanical synth engine in pedal format. So it's a synth pedal. In place of a electronic oscillator, or however synths work, it's using a literal physical spinning motor oscillating to create a tone. So you play a note, it tracks it, and it spins the thing up to speed to match the pitch of your note, which is super cool. They also describe it as being noisy, it's raw, it's physical, and it doesn't sound like anything else, and I can confirm that. So the components that make up the motor is actually made of like a drone rotor, I think. I remember reading that somewhere. So I guess you could say it's more of like a rotor pedal than a motor pedal. Maybe we should just move on and listen to how it sounds. Yeah, we'll do that. It's such a dumb bit. So, I mean, looking at the thing, come on, like, they knocked it out of the park. I remember seeing some like early iterations of this pedal from like 2019 NAMM or something, and it looked interesting. It seems like they really went through some design iterations. They usually do a great job, but this is pretty sweet. You can actually see the motor itself right there. When I engage it, it starts spinning. I've got my guitar, which I am plugging straight into the motor pedal, into my interface, which is then running into an instance of Neural DSP's Morgan amp suite, the AC20. Just a quick note, so this is a monophonic synth pedal that is, for the most part, using your input instrument as a trigger for the actual synth pedal. The clean signal that you're playing and the motor signal don't actually cross over, interact too much. Hopefully that makes sense. Now let's actually listen to the pedal. Okay, here's the obligatory clean tone. And here's the motor. We're starting on the motor synth engine, which everything else basically at noon sounds like this. It is playing the notes that I'm playing, but I'm hearing all kinds of like crazy overtones. Like there's the nah, but also like a nah. If I turn the octave down, turn the clean all the way off, so now we're just having motor, it actually like sounds like a car, like an actual motor. It's a motor. It's a motor. Hearing the motor try to catch up when you play like really wide intervals apart, like if I just play a low E and then a high E. Like you can kind of hear it rushing through every note to get to that high E, even though I don't even have the glide or anything turned on yet. Let's just shift the mod a bit. setting on the engine. So the way this works is there's 5 different engines, and each one has a different variation on how they use the motor to drive the sounds of the pedal. So engine number 1, motor, is just what it sounds like. The raw sound of the motor being picked up by like the little miniature guitar pickup basically inside the pedal. So now I'm gonna set it over to MxD or M times D or mixed or MxD. I'm not gonna pretend like I know what this is, so I'm gonna read it. It multiplies the motor oscillator signal with a variety of digital waveforms. This produces a sharp and aggressive sound. I think this like blends the motor sound with like an actual kind of synth oscillator. Let's see what it sounds like. A sharp and aggressive sound. I'm wondering if it's like using a square or a triangle wave or something. Let's change the mod wheel a bit. I keep forgetting that I can't play chords. It's got that plug-in baby kind of vibe. Yeah, this second mode seems to very much be like sort of like a fake fuzz factory. Let's turn the octave up. Never mind, let's turn it down. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. Let's turn the release down a bit. I mean, you love a good thick pedal. So I just turned the mod the other way, less of a sludge and more of like a sharper dark. It reminds me of another Muse song. That might be my favorite setting I've heard so far. Moving on, let's go to the M wave. Here, the motor oscillator is used to control the digital waveform generator. I know what that means. I'm a scientist. I understand those words. This is where it starts to sound more like a synth to me, like. So we haven't messed with the Vibro glide knob yet. Let's turn that up and just see what it does. That is pretty silly. It is gliding a lot. See, you harmonize this and now you can do the TH. You harmonize this and you can do the THX sound. Let's move it over to the vibrato side. Listen to actually what the motor, the physical motor, is doing. This is where having like a physical thing that is moving inside the pedal is really fascinating because it shows you exactly what's happening. It's literally speeding up and slowing down at like an interval that's creating a vibrato. Tracking on this thing is pretty good. Like, you can definitely fool it, especially if you play too fast or you don't have enough like pick attack. Like legato kind of tends to confuse it a bit. But like, credit where it's due, it's pretty good. modes don't really work, at least in terms of the pedals output. But if you blend in enough clean tone, then it sounds like it can still sort of latch onto the bass note. So far, I haven't really done anything with the tone of the drive knobs. If I'm being totally honest, I don't feel like they do a lot. Let's just go back to motor. Let's turn the tone all the way up. Like, it's a filter, but it's not like a super severe filter. It's not like a insane low pass type of thing. And kind of the same with the drive, like it all the way down. It's probably more useful on the less aggressive settings, like if we go back to the M wave. Like there, I feel like the tone is actually doing a lot more. Sometimes it kind of sounds like two like robot cats that are fighting. We got 2 more modes to go. So here's the coil. From what I understand, the motor itself is not spinning anymore. And you can see that that's true. It's kind of just like... How that interacts with what I'm doing, I'm not really sure, because I have an art degree, not a physics degree. So all I can do is show you what it sounds like. I kind of like hearing that just drone, like there's like a little pattern in there. And then the final mode is the vocoder mode. If I didn't already know what this was, I would have no idea how to recreate this sound. It sounds like it's like, you know, like a robot that's like underwater and it's trying to tell me its phone number or something like. So that's all 5 modes. Let's just shift it back to motor, good old trusty motor. And we'll just sort of go through this little expression pedal thing real quick. So here's the accelerator. Press it down, octave up. You go to the brake. Press it down, octave down. It's cool that every action you have on this pedal, there's like a corresponding physical reaction that the motor has to do in order to correspond with the change that you're making. The clutch, you play a note and normally the next note you play it would follow, but I think it turns off the following. Let's turn up the clean tone again just so we can hear a bit of movement. Drift is some more weird engine-y sounds. There's like a bit of vibrato, but it also sounds like the motor is just like chugging and like fighting you. And then volume. Pressing it down makes the volume come up. So there's sort of an overview of like some of the sounds this thing can do. Even over the course of the last few minutes, just doing this for this video, I had stumbled on some sounds that I hadn't heard before out of this thing. So I guess you could say there's a lot more under the hood. Oh man, there's no way that that can make it in. So while I think we can all agree that this thing is super cool, it is not without its limitations. I think for one, it being monophonic, for me, limits the times in which I'm probably going to choose to use it, but that's you know, more of a me thing. There's lots of monophonic instruments out there. 2, it has difficulty with the tracking if you go low enough. I assume this is due to the actual physical limitation of how slow the motor can actually go to produce a usable pitch. Let me show you what I mean, actually. All right, so I've got a 7-string here. Low note is B. Here's our motor pedal. You can hear that when we hit a C, it tracks with it pretty well. When you hit the low B, I'll take out the clean tone. C seems to be the lowest it can go. Let me try again with the bass as well. You know, I heard it go to B for like a second there, but you know, honestly, something to just be aware of. Around the time when I would have bought this, I was working on this space, this studio, which is now done. And I was looking out for gear which was unusual, things that would inspire songs on their own, and things that I would be able to use with multiple instruments. Multi-use inspiration pedals. So that's why I bought this thing. Now, when I plugged into this right away, I knew pretty quick that this wasn't going to be that. It does a bunch of different stuff, but you know, it's gonna sound the same with a bass as with a guitar. If I hit a snare drum through it, it's still gonna sound like the motor pedal. I don't see it as being that thing that, like, when I've got nowhere else to turn and I'm stuck in a creative hole, this pedal is gonna be the thing that digs me out, you know, like say the microcosm or the onward can sometimes be. It kind of has its lane, you know. I would have to knowingly reach for this tool, knowing that this is what I wanted. A pedal like this is so bold. From the moment you plug into it and make a sound, it definitely demands a reaction out of you. It's unruly, it's aggressive, it's kind of antagonistic in a way. Like, I really had to wrestle with it before I kind of understood where it was coming from. Making this video has been a super great learning experience, and I feel like I can use it a lot better now. I'm kind of asking myself now, like, am I gonna keep this thing? And I'm kind of undecided, to be honest. I think before making this video, I was like, probably not. Like, it'll be fun to kind of make something, put this out here, and you know, from there, maybe I'll return it, maybe I'll sell it. After having played this a bunch, basically all day, and finding a lot of sounds that I actually really like, I'm not so sure if I'm gonna let go of it. At the time of recording, there's only like 2 videos of this pedal on YouTube. It's part of the reason why I wanted to make this, was to at least contribute something. I would love to hear, like, from anyone, if you get your hands on this, or if you're kind of eyeing this at all, what would you do with it? Like, in what context do you see yourself making music? So I think we can all agree that this pedal is super unique. I had a lot of fun making this. I hope it was at least 10% enjoyable to watch, and I may never do another one, but for now, it's been fun. This is a pedal, and we talked about it. That's all for now.